Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a 2024 GMC Sierra Elevation. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the National GMC here in American Fork, Utah for giving some time with this truck. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. If you have any questions, need any help, just ask for David. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 5.3 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy with this is 15 around town and then 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 355 horsepower and then 383 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, taking a look at the hood, you guys can see that you've got this cool boxy design. Popping down below, the headlight bezel is all blacked out with the Elevation package, which is really cool, and that theme continues into the grille. Notice the GMC logo is also blacked out. You've got fog lights here on the front end as well as tow hooks. And putting it all together, it has a cool sporty appearance because everything's blacked out. Now, coming on the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 275 60/20 in the front and over in the rear, and you guys can see with the wheels completely blacked out again as part of this package. And then look at the fender flares, even those are body painted. I reviewed Denali's that don't have body painted fender flares, kind of interesting. Anyways, you can see 5.3 V8 here, Elevation down below, and then look at the fixed side step. And then here's your full side view with the Elevation. You guys can see this one has the slightly longer bed and then the shorter cab configuration. Now, taking a look at the key fob, you guys can see lock and unlock, remote start. We got the tailgate drop down and then the GMC logo there on the back. Now, taking a look at the bed, you guys can see that the tailgate is protected, and then you got the bed protection as well from the factory, which is nice. LED bed light action. We also have a full outlet here in the bed as well. And then the tailgate itself is not automatically raised up, but it's super light. Now, here's a quick look at the taillights. You got the 4x4 badge there in the back as well. Bumper step action here, and then notice Elevation yet again, and then the bumper's body painted, and then you got the rest of your badges. And wrapping things up, let me know what you guys think about the looks here on the Elevation package. Now, taking a look at the door panel, it's actually soft touch, and you can see with the padding down below, which is not all that common when you have these shorter doors. Usually they just cheap out on them, so good job, GMC. And then with the Elevation package, you do have these cloth seats here. They do lift up so you can store stuff underneath. And then getting in's pretty easy. You got the side step right there. Now, legroom back here, I mean, I fit. And then headroom, same thing. It's actually really good. Now, taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see again soft touch here with the wood trim and then the double stack design. All of our window controls, notice the front one's automatic. You got our mirror adjustments. Just a quick look at the mirrors themselves. And while we're over here, payload is 1,732 pounds, and then our towing capacity is 9,300. And then taking a look at the seats, you guys can see cloth all the way down the center, power adjustments here on the side, and then we got our parking brake here. Notice our drive line select, so we have 4-wheel auto, 2-wheel high, and 4-wheel high drive mode select with our tow haul mode, and your light controls right there as well. Now, taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see soft touch all around. We do have radio controls there on the back as well. We've got controls for the center stack. We've got our voice command controls, cruise control, heated steering wheel button on the steering wheel. Turn signal / windshield wiper stalk, and then we have our column shifter with the plus and minus to shift the gears yourself. Now, taking a look at the gauge cluster, you guys can see full digital gauge cluster here. You can scroll through a bunch of different menus, see bits of info on the truck. We also got our tow haul mode, which is nice. And then you guys can see you've got your sport mode, your off-road mode, and then your terrain mode that you can go between as well. Now, in reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. You also got the trailer tow line with that. Resolution is pretty good. And then as for the rest of the infotainment screen, you've got this little like side screen right there, and then you have the main screen. It responds pretty dang well. It's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and a shortcut bar. That's the home screen button right next to the volume control, and then you guys can see lane departure with our auto stop start, tailgate drop down, hazard lights, stability control. That's to roll down all the windows at once. And look at the trim that goes across. And by the way, speaking of trim, the dash also really nice. And you guys can see the engine stop start, and then we've got our climate control, so dual zone climate, heated seats up front, got some USB action, and then nothing here because this one has the bench seat configuration, so this all picks up, and then there's even more storage space underneath as well. And then I guess while we're on the topic of storage, got the double glove box with nice padding there on the outside, and then nothing up here. Rear glass is fixed. Now this is a 2024 Sierra 1500 Elevation. Comes with quite a bit of standard, including a locking rear differential. Anyways, 54,100 is the base MSRP, 60,975 after all options. And let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Huge visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear, and also, why are we in 4-wheel auto? Let's put it in 2-wheel drive. Let us set off. Don't know why I went this way, but I suppose I'm turning around this way. But anyways, let's start things off with the seats, which cloth seats, pretty dang comfortable. Camera's really good. It's pretty easy to be precise with this camera, which I like the distances and everything. They've done a pretty good job with the calibration. I say that because I review a lot of cars, and like the camera systems in some cars just aren't very good. It's like you get to something and you're like, oh, I'm gonna hit that. It's definitely not good with the calibration. But anyways, aside from me talking about nerdy camera calibration stuff, first off, the other thing is the powertrain. I like the sound of it. It's pretty... Okay, so first setting off, I like the feel of the powertrain. It's got a nice amount of torque. Now, I think right here in Utah is at about 4,000. I think it's about 4,000 feet elevation. I might be off by a little bit. Elevation, we're in the elevation. I just realized it. Anyways, but yeah, it seems like it performs pretty well so far. Ride quality's solid. It's a comfortable truck. Yeah, like going over the manhole covers and everything, the absorption with everything, it seems to be good. I like it. I like what they've done here. Yeah, this has got pretty good torque, and again, this is the 5.3, not the 6.2. So it seems like it's got more than enough power to get up and go when you need to get up and go. And the noise insulation is pretty good. I mean, the interstate's just right there, and it's quiet. Like, I'm not really noticing anything, so I think that in itself is pretty impressive. Braking feels... I like the braking, it's good. Little bumpy bump. Yeah, this is nice, and turning is... yeah, solid. It's easy to drive. I think that's one of the biggest benefits of this, is it's just easy to drive. Anyways, yeah, it really does have solid torque. I like it. It's quite impressive. I think overall they've done a good job with that. So something's up. I mean, this is comfortable. I like the looks of the Elevation a lot. I think they did a good job. I think that every GMC Sierra should just have these fender flares body painted as standard. I think that should just be a GMC Sierra thing. And then aside from that, yeah, it's just good. It's pretty good. Well, it's pretty well-rounded truck. $60,000. I know that some of you might think that sounds like a lot, but like you look at comparative packages, Ram Bighorn, Ford XLT. You know, this is right there. I mean, the XLT and the Bighorn, and with similar options to this, a little bit more expensive even. So it's actually pretty reasonably priced. But let me know what you guys think about the Elevation. But I think this is a pretty good, or pretty cool, you know, more affordable GMC Sierra.